Hello guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome to today's video. I am so excited for today's video because we are going to be reviewing the COLOURPOP times Animal Crossing New Horizons collection. I know so many of us have been asking for this collection, and the fact that it's actually here and it's an actual collection blows my mind. I cannot believe it. It feels very surreal. I'm like, did this actually happen? I was so lucky enough to get this collection in PR and I just feel so grateful. Like, I know this collection is in high demand and we're gonna talk about it today. We're gonna go very in depth. There's just so many little details in this collection and it just warms my heart up. As you probably can tell, I am one of the many people that played Animal Crossing during lockdown, and I think for a lot of us it was just a really nice escape, a very wholesome escape, just to get away from all of the news. I don't play it that much anymore, but after playing with this collection it sparked so much joy. I really do want to get back into it. I've been meaning to, but nonetheless it was a game that I played non-stop. I was dedicated. It was a side hustle for me, honestly. I waited like 2 hours every week, not every week, most weeks, to sell my turnips. Like, that's just how invested I was into this game. And if you've been meaning to play Animal Crossing, I think this is your sign. It's such a wholesome game and I really want to get back into it. But with that being said, let's just hop into the collection. So first off, the box that it actually comes in, it has you actually see this box in the actual game, and the fact that it comes in this box is just, you already know it's gonna be a good collection. And then on the inside it just says, I had these made especially for island residents from Tom Nook. And as you can tell, I am monochromatic today. I am wearing Tom Nook's palette and I have my little Tom Nook ears, you could say. I know they're like really uneven, but I tried. I'm not really good at hair, but I tried. I don't know if you just order one thing from this collection you will get this box. I'm gonna assume that you would have to purchase the full collection and it will come in this box. But this box, you can reverse it. I think it's a really nice way to display, I don't know, next to your Switch or something. That's really cute. I'm gonna be keeping this box. It's not a box that I'm throwing away. It's too precious to me. And some extra little things that come in the collection. We first have this recipe card. So the recipe card just has all of the collection details. It's just such a cute touch. This, I have no words really. This is just so cute. And then you also get some stickers as well, which is super cute. I would assume as well if you are ordering the full collection, that's how you will get this. We have this little cube of palettes in here. So this is the True Friends set. So there are 4-pan mini palettes in total, and these are $12 US. When I saw that price, I was like rubbing my eyes. I'm like, wait, $12? Is this real? Because a 9-pan from COLOURPOP is $14, and then a 5-pan, their new 5-pans are $10. So this being a 4-pan and it's $12 US, I was like, oh, it's a little bit more expensive. With a lot of their collabs, the pricing is a little bit more expensive, but this for $12, I was like, okay. But anyway, we have the 4 palettes here. All of the palettes do have a mirror inside, so I guess that adds to the price as well. It will come with 1 metallic, 1 matte, 1 sequence, which is a matte base with little specks of glitter in there, but it technically works as a matte shadow, and then it does have a pressed glitter. And I noticed that all of the palettes have this type of formation, and I think with the pressed glitters, that is really a hit or miss. Some people love it, some people don't. I personally don't mind it, but if we're talking about like a mini palette, I think it's better if they didn't add the glitters. I used all of these shades in the palettes. It was very easy for me to do because I love putting pressed glitter at the inner corners of my eyes, but that is a technique that I know not a lot of people are going to do and will probably have no use for glitters, so that already kind of is a con for that. And then also with the color stories in these palettes, it is very dupeable. If you have a lot of their monochromatic 9-pans already, this collection really is just for someone that wants to collect this Animal Crossing collection. It's more of a collectibles, and going into this collection, that's what I'm going to expect. I'm not going to go into this collection finding my new holy grail product. This collection really is for the novelty and for the joy that it brings. But if we're gonna take away the collection name, like take away Animal Crossing, if I was just to open this palette, there's no Tom Nook related to this palette, I'm gonna be like, this is literally the meant to be palette. It's nothing special, and it is overpriced, $12 for 4 shadows when you can get the meant to be palette for a couple dollars more. I'm obviously going to recommend that. If you're going into this collection, I think we're all expecting that. We're not going to expect anything like revolutionary. It is just things that we have seen before, just in really cute packaging. So it's really up to you whether you want to decide to get this or not. They are restocking soon, I believe next week. I'll leave the info down below. I think it's the 18th, but I'll leave it down below. So yeah, that's just my overall thoughts and vibe on the palettes. I did enjoy them. I think for the makeup style that I like to do, these 4 shadows, like a transition, a deeper tone, a metallic, and a glitter, that's what I typically use besides the glitter for a glam look like this and how I do my daily technique. So yeah, we'll go ahead and talk about each individual palette just really quickly, and I'll show you my looks that I did with them. So we'll first talk about the palette that I am currently wearing today and the person I'm trying to embody. This is the Nook Ink palette. So the shades we have in here, the first one is called Made in the Shade, and I use this as my transition shadow for today's look, and it is a sequin shadow, and I do experience a little bit of fallout with this, but this technically does work as a matte shadow if you are new to ColourPop's formulation. But once it's blended onto your eyes, those specks of glitters do fly away and you do experience a little bit of fallout with that. Next shade I went in with was Water Landing, and I just used that at my outer corners to deepen out the look. I do like how it's not too much of a dark green. I feel like the contrast between light and dark, it could be too drastic, so I like how it's more on the medium to deep side, and this one blended out really easily as well. Next shadow is called Yes ... Yes, and I use this at the inner third of my lid, and it's a beautiful mint shadow, complements the other 2 green mint shadows really well, and it is a really nice pop of color. And then lastly I went in with CEO at my inner corners to highlight that area and just to give more sparkle to the look. This is a really nice palette for someone that wants a little bit of mint in your collection, and if you didn't want to buy the 9 pan, then this one might be an option for you. If you have more of like a smaller collection, you have a more minimalist approach to makeup, then this might be of interest to you. But I do think it is quite comparable to Meant to Be. Not so much of just my luck, but I did throw my comparisons in there anyway. Next palette we have is What the Hoot, and this one is more of that warm tone daily type of palette. So this one is Blanthers and Celeste, and I think it's so cute. So the first shade I went in with is Celestial, and I use this as my transition shadow. This one does have little specks of glitter in it as well, but it's not too intense compared to the one in Nook Ink. Then I went in with Who, and this one is more like a deeper brown with a red underbase. I would say I would have preferred if the shadow was a little bit more to the medium side, because I feel like the contrast from transition to this shadow, it is pretty drastic. It goes from very light to very dark, and I feel like there just needs to be something in between. So I would have liked if it was more of a medium shadow, but you can use this to create a smoky wing, for example, for more of a subtle look. So I do like that, but for the look that I was going for when I was using this palette, I did find that the contrast was too drastic, and I did want something in between that. But after that I went in with the shade Or a Flutter, and I used this at the inner third on my lid space. I think it does pair well with the mattes that we just used. And then I went in with Meteor Shower, the pressed glitter, to highlight my inner corners. I think once the look is finished, I really do like the overall outcome and how it turned out at the end. But when I was using this palette, I thought it was going to be my favorite one and the one that I would use the most, but seeing how drastic from light to dark it goes, probably wouldn't be my go-to. Next palette is 5 Star Island. This is Isabel's palette, and it's just so cute. I love the pink and yellow combo. Perfect. So I first went in with Island Tuned as my transition shadow. I actually quite like this pink. I feel like it's more of like a corally pink in a way, and it's a little bit more unique into my collection, even though I have so many palettes. But I feel like this pink is a little bit different, and I really did like this shadow. Next I went in with Resident Rep, and this is our sequin shadow. It is packed with a lot of glitters when you look at the pan, but once it's on the eyes, I feel like that does blend out, and I really do like the tone of this. I like how it's more of a medium tone, so again the light to dark contrast is not too drastic. Then I went into the shade Isabel. Yes girl, she has her own shade name, but I placed this at the inner third of my lid space. In the pan it looks like a really strong yellow gold, but once on the eyes I feel like it blends out to more of like a subtle yellowy pink in a way. It doesn't look how it looks like in the pan is what I'm trying to say, which I do like, but something to note. And then lastly, I just took the pressed glitter Island Designer and I placed that at the inner corners of my eyes. I actually really like this pink glitter. Pink is like one of my favorite colors, so I'm really drawn to this palette and I really did enjoy this one. And the last palette we have is a label of the Ball, the Label Sisters. We love them. They are so wholesome and so hardworking. But first I went in with Taylor's Ticket. This is the sequin shadow, and I noticed with this shadow specifically there was a lot more fallout than any of the other sequins in the other palettes. So just keep that in mind. If you want to do your eyes first, then that is something to note. Then I went into the shade Serene Sable to deepen out my outer corners. Again, I do like how this is not like a very deep plum. It's more like a medium purple, so that way the contrast between the two is not too drastic, and I really do like that, but it still gives enough definition at the outer corners. Then I took the shade Custom Design, placed that at the inner third of my lid. This one is more of like a duochrome. It has a purple and a blue flip, so a very interesting shade and a beautiful shade at that. And then lastly, I went in with Able Sisters at the inner corners, the pressed glitter. I also really like this pressed glitter as well. I like the light purple flip that it has, and it is quite unique into my little glitter collection. And next in the collection we have the two pressed blushes. These are $12 US each, and we have the Cosmo blush and the Windflower blush. So the Cosmo blush is called Flower Power, and this is more of like a mauvey pink. Then we have Flower Tender, which I would describe to be more as like a nectarine coral, and these both have a satin finish. I do like them. I found them a little bit different from their typical pressed blushes. I found these to be less vibrant and pigmented. I think if they were a matte formulation, I would have preferred them a lot more. These don't come as like bright and opaque as some of their other pressed blushes do. It was still nice blushes. I will get my use out of them, but they're not gonna be like my holy grail blush. However, Flower Tender I think is a little bit more unique into my collection. I don't have something this like corally based, so I really did enjoy these, but not my favorite or standout in the collection. And next up in the collection, the thing that I personally was most excited for are the little mini lip tint duos, and these are $12 US each, and each shade is after a fruit. My island was oranges, and I didn't know people would restart the game to get the fruit they wanted. I got oranges, which is probably the fruit that I wanted the least. If I had a choice, I would have liked peaches. But I was so excited for these because first I thought these were going to be discontinued, the whole Just a Tint line, because while I was on their site a couple months ago, I saw that a lot of their shades were not on their site, so I thought they were discontinuing these. But when I saw they came back in this collection, I was so excited, and I love seeing more shades. The Just a Tint line is my favorite lip formulation from ColourPop. I adore these. You guys know I adore these. Like, I love them. And second, that these smell like the actual fruit, the matching fruit of the fruit. Like, how cool is that? So the original Just a Tint line does have like a fruity scent to it, so it's so cool that they made these smell like the actual fruit matching with the fruit. Like, so as you can tell, I was really excited, but once I got these, I wasn't a big fan of the scents. Let's just say that. Some of them I love, some of them I don't love, but we'll go individually and talk about each shade. So the first little duo is the Fruit Basket, which is the apple and the cherry. If you like more brighter pinky reds, then this duo will probably be up your alley for sure. The first shade is Juicy Apple, and I would say this one smells the best out of all of them to me. It smells like a green apple candy, like bubblegum, like high chew. It smells so good. I love this one so much, and I really do like the shade of this. It wouldn't be a shade that I wear very often. The next one is called Cherry Cherry. For the scent, it's not my favorite. It does smell like what you would think cherry candy smells like, which is To me it smells like medicine and I don't really like that smell, but the color of it is really pretty. It has more of like a red underbase, but it's very bright. I feel like it's a really nice like springtime type of color. The next duo is called Fruit Roots, and this is the orange and the peach. The first shade is called Peach Surprise, and the scent on this is nice, but I don't know what I was expecting. It literally does smell like peaches. If you try the Tony Moly peach hand cream, it literally smells like that. So it does smell good, but for some reason I was expecting a little bit more. However, the shade is beautiful. This would have to be one of my favorite shades in the collection. It is kind of comparable to Rise and Shine, which you guys know is one of my favorite just the tints. And then we have Orange Cutie. This one I really don't like the smell of. This one also smells like medicine to me, but it is the lip color that I'm wearing today, and it's also another favorite of mine. This set, this Fruit Root set, would have to be my favorite set out of them all. If you like very warm and like peachy, orangey tones, then you would really love this set. And the last set we have is called Pick of the Bunch, and this is the pear and the coconut. I would say this one smells the second best to me. We first have coconut juice, and I really like this shade because it is a bit darker. I feel like in the Just a Tint line there's not too many darker shades, so I do like how they incorporated a darker shade in here. As for the scent, it does smell like what coconut scented things usually smell like, but I don't know how I feel about it in a lip tint. I typically really do like coconut scents, like coconut, vanilla. They're very sweet, but in a lip tint I'm not really too sure how I feel about it, but it smells good. It's not the worst. And the last shade is called Incomparable, and this is the pear scent, and I actually really like the scent of this. It smells really delicious to me. I would say the shade is pretty comparable to Peach Surprise, but I do have some other comparisons here for you guys as well. But those were the lip colors. My favorite one would have to be Fruit Roots, then Pick of the Bunch, and then Fruit Basket. If we're just talking about shade colors, I feel like some of them there's a lot of comparisons, some of them is a little bit more unique, so hopefully that will help you guys out. Alright, we're down to the last two items in the collection. We'll talk about the Glitterly Obsessed Body Gel in the shade Billionaire. I didn't get to use this, but I will put out my swatches and also my comparisons for you guys. This does make sense how it's the Billionaire and it's representing the bowels and it's gold and it's glitter. I get that, but I feel like because there was already a pressed glitter in all of the palettes, I don't think it was really necessary to come out with a pressed glitter. I think if this was like a super shock, but you know, like I get the concept, but I think there's already enough glitter in this collection that this one, I feel like it could have been something else, or even like two super shocks and this could have been like sort of like a set. It is what it is, but this glitter gel is $10 US. And then the last item is the Super Shock Shadow in Balloon Pop. How cute is this little box? As you guys know, I do like the Super Shocks, but I don't really use them that often. And the shade is nice. Maybe if they did like a really intense red, that would have been cool. But I get they want to make this collection more wearable for more people. Alright you guys, so that was the entire collection, the entire Animal Crossing collection. Everything is so cute. I'm pretty sure I said the word cute 10 million times in today's video. Take a shot every time I said that, because I do have an attachment to Animal Crossing, because I feel like some of their other collections, like the Hocus Pocus or like Sailor Moon, I didn't watch those movies. I didn't really have such a big attachment to those, but with Animal Crossing, like I know what all the names mean, I know everything, like I feel the feels, and I try my best to, you know, be subjective and just be in the middle. I just hope this video was helpful. I can't help but, you know, be attached to the collection. I think just overall the collection is nothing special. If we're talking about makeup, thing really in this collection that brought something new into mine. I think I already had something quite similar in my collection already, but sometimes it's not about if it's unique into your collection, if it's anything special. Sometimes if this collection just sparks joy, it sparks joy. We can just leave it at that. So I'll leave it up to you guys to decide if you want to purchase this or not. Hopefully seeing it on me and against my skin tone and how I was able to play with everything and everything swatch, compared. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. I would appreciate it so much if you did. If you haven't already, please subscribe, come join the family. We have a fun time here doing wholesome things. Thank you so much for watching. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!